Hey guys, this is Mongolian Mindset today, and we got the gang with us. We have Shelly on iPhone. I don't know what the hell she's doing. I'm kidding. We have Thomas, the two INTJs, and we're gonna be interviewing Tom today, and we'll be figuring out his type. Tom, you don't have to go into anything that you don't feel uncomfortable about. We'll ask you very generic questions, and from there we'll narrow down on what we think to be your best fit type. You can use that information to do whatever you need. Can you introduce yourself?
Of course, yeah. So I'm Tom. I'm 27. I'm from England. I work in marketing. I have various hobbies, all kinds of hobbies, music, the gym, all kinds of stuff. Um, and generally just consider myself quite an ambitious person, quite into MBTI and that kind of thing as well. Um, so I'm quite curious to see what comes out of this, to be honest.
Okay, man. So what got you into MBTI?
Someone sent me the 16 personalities test, and I took that. I got an INTP for that one. And
Mhm.
then since then, I've sort of looked through it, and I find it quite interesting because it's quite cool to sort of classify. You can sort of vaguely classify people into a certain sort of thing, so you can kind of understand how they're going to be, that kind of thing. But in general, obviously, there's a lot more to it than that. But yeah, it was just quite an interesting thing for me.
Mhm.
Um, and I've sort of just dove into it more. I've always been into psychology and that kind of thing. So understanding the human mind, that kind of thing. So yeah.
Okay. Um, if you were to if you're on a team, what do you think is like your best asset?
Just ideas, coming up with ideas, seeing every side of an argument, really. I can kind of argue for anybody, if I need to. So I think that would be the main thing I would bring. Also, tenacity, a desire to sort of go outside of the box, find something unique, go beyond the average. Yeah, just desire to push boundaries mostly.
Do you ever find yourself getting in trouble pushing boundaries?
Sorry,
You ever find yourself in trouble pushing boundaries?
in trouble, yeah, all the time, really. I get told to pipe down sometimes, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if you're gonna push boundaries, you're gonna run into conflict at times. Um, it's just how I suppose at times I will admittedly, like, if I'm like, okay, what I'm thinking is probably wrong in the group sense, I'll probably keep it quiet. But most of the time, if I think something's wrong, I'm gonna point it out, you know.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. What do you think? What stresses you out?
Stresses me out. I suppose what stresses me out is perhaps security, making sure I've got what I need, making sure I can help the people around me. Um, that's the main thing. I mostly like to try and enjoy life and ride through it and see what happens, kind of thing. But that does, I suppose, underhandedly, you then worry about your responsibilities. So um, keeping on top of those is the main thing. So I'd say that's the main insecurity.
You said you just like to just ride through life and just see how things go.
In it, yeah. Overall, like I have a vague idea of what I want to do and a vague concept, but to be honest, if you asked me 5 years ago, it would have been very different. So it's really, I keep that in mind, but there's mostly, you have to aim towards something or you're not going anywhere. But um, yeah, there's always a vague idea of where I can go, but I don't always know, you know. So yeah, I ride through life massively. People call me very laid back.
Okay. What's something that where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
Uh, um, so I'm in marketing now. I hope to be a sort of a marketing manager, um, that kind of thing. Either that or managing my own or running my own sort of freelance marketing agency. If you're talking 10 years, um, yeah, the next 5 years it's moving up, getting experience. I'm still fairly inexperienced in the industry, so building on that and then getting experience, learning mostly what fails and what goes wrong, so then you can adapt and figure that out. I learn more from my mistakes than anything. So yeah, that and then running my own agency, probably starting 10 years, yeah, starting a family and buying a house, settling down a bit, like letting go of the wild fantasies and the dreams, you know.
Okay. What do you think is something that something that you do that sabotages you?
Uh, I think it sounds weird, but not pushing enough, like not pushing for what I want enough. Because as I say, if there's a situation where the group won't agree with something, I might not do that thing. Whereas maybe I should, and maybe I should push boundaries. And sometimes I overthink what other people think. And they tell me that later on. I'm like, oh, I could have done that. So I think, yeah, it's just not, and I'm working on it. It's sort of, and that's kind of what all these sort of personality things are for, is to push myself to actually to go past my weakness of not getting what I want all the time, or going for what I want at most of the time. Um, yeah, so I'd say that is really.
Okay. What do you think is something that you might go to jail for?
Probably helping someone out that I shouldn't. I tend to attract terrible people sometimes, just because they like people who are quite free willing, quite um, that kind of thing. Yeah, they can cling onto you a little bit. I've had some funny situations, so it'd probably be an accomplice for somebody else's crime. If not, maybe doing something a bit crazy. But honestly, I think it would be working with somebody else, and it would be their thing, and I'd kind of be trying to get us out of it. To be honest, that's always how it tends to go, and it always blows up in my face. So yeah, I'd say that being in a conflict with somebody else, you know.
Yeah. If we were to fast forward your life to the end, what would be something you think you missed out on?
Uh, I think it's so many things, but I guess it's always just being true to yourself. You know, I struggle with that, but yeah, being true to yourself and always making the decision that you want to make. And like, I haven't done that in the past all the time. I do a lot of the time, but you always regret the times you haven't done it. So little things like that. Not seeing family as much as I want, that kind of thing. You know, older family members, I already regret that. But yeah, just making time for people that I care about and things like that. I tend to struggle with that. I'm always working, you know, always grinding, always thinking of and the next idea. Um, so it's sort of seeing what's around you, not just what's in your head, you know. So getting out of my head, to be straightforward about
Um, what's something you think a skill everybody should know? Everything that would improve them.
it. Maybe critical thinking or something. Just it's sort of letting go of your emotions a little. Like I do it too much, but like you definitely, like, people do the silliest things with their emotions, you know. And it's like, if you could just objectively look at something, I could say I don't like somebody, but I agree with them, right? And which a lot of people don't get. But for me, it's the best decisions often for, if you want humanity at large, often aren't the most popular ones. And so I would say critical thinking, just being able to separate yourself from the scenario.
Okay. Thomas, you got anything?
Yeah, sure. What if you had three wishes, what would you wish for?
Ah, um, I think just enough security where I could do what I want. That would be number one. Just money, I guess, enough money to live on. I mean, that's what that is vague to anybody. So yeah, I'd say security. Then I'd probably just have a lot of fun with it. But I'd like to sort of, I'd like to, because I could probably wish it away. I'd say I'd like to sort of be in charge of a country or something and see what that's like. You know, sort of see what I could do, see how much red tape there actually is, or how many issues there really are when you want to get things that you want. Yeah, so rule a country, security, and then just to be able to travel the world really and experience different cultures and that kind of thing. Um, and yeah, just sort of, yeah, I'd say that's it. Yeah.
Okay. What's one of the if you were to give someone the perfect advice to help them, what would it be? If you could just one advice, what would you give?
On advice, it depends on the scenario, doesn't it? But I guess just be true to yourself. You know, whatever you're doing. I mean, even if you mess up completely, at least you can say, "That's what I wanted to do at the time." Yeah, if you're saying one piece of advice, that if you're really being granular about
it. Okay. What's 3 words your friends would say about you?
He funny, or without being arrogant, funny, or always messing around. But at the same time, quite kind of serious at the same time. It's a weird thing. I like to have fun but get it done. That's a good expression. Yeah. So yeah, just sort of serious, but at the same time, the most unserious person you'll ever meet, really. Yeah.
Okay. Tom, you got anything? I'm kind of drawing a blank.
Yeah. Did I don't know if you asked what is like, well, kind of dovetailing off about something you just said, as what do you think like the biggest problem in the world is, or some of the biggest problems?
The biggest problem in the world is, that's hard to say. It's I guess it's just I suppose it's just people not understanding each other. If we all understood each other more, things may go smoothly. Obviously, there's complications. Everyone has their own drives and their own ambitions, and they often conflict, which results in wars or things like that. But I think, but then fundamentally, if we all understood each other more, maybe we could understand boundaries, and the world may improve things in that sense. I think almost every problem comes back to that, really. It's an understanding, listening, taking things objectively, not just what you think is right or what you feel or whatever. Yeah, so that's the biggest problem, I think.
That's actually a good point. I definitely agree. People are often misunderstanding one another or talking past one another, and that's something that
Exactly.
typology, I think, can help with to a degree. Although I think it's even knowing typology, it's still a problem. But
100%.
I don't know if Mercer asked this either. How do you go about learning a new skill?
I teach myself, or I use the internet or something. I've never enjoyed being taught anything, really, any sort of formal education. I just find really stuffy, or really, it's just not for me. I learn things at my own pace, and I really learn by doing it. You could literally show me how to do something, but I don't do it, and I won't take it in. But as soon as I start doing it, I will be really good at it fairly quickly. It takes a little time, like with anything, if it's a completely new skill. But yeah, I'd say in terms of a skill, it's very much teaching myself, basically, reading books or watching videos. I taught myself guitar watching videos, so that kind of thing.
Okay.
So I learned mostly by myself.
Interesting.
Okay.
So like as far as schooling goes, like you just feel like it's kind of like stifling?
To me, I mean, it varies, doesn't it? Other people enjoy it, and that's fine. I don't think it inherently presents many positive. It doesn't, like, if you just went through school, you got A's and everything, you could still end up homeless. Like, you know, it's about like, finding. It's almost, you have to learn. You learn the rules, and then you learn to break them. That's what I think. Because if you just follow the rules, you're always going to be. Someone's always going to be above you. Someone's always going to be in charge of you. You're not actually gonna. And to be honest, the people at the top, to get deep about it, the people at the top want you to stay at the bottom. It's just facts, like, because you're gonna take their position. I'm young, ambitious. They're old, and sorry, without being offensive, but yeah, it's how it works. It's life, and it's a case of like fighting the system, fighting the system a little bit. And so you ask about education, yeah. So I didn't enjoy it, really. Looking back at it, I did it. I got on with it. I'm a studious person, so that part of it was all right. But I mean, really being just, if it's something I didn't want to learn, it just was not going in. So if I enjoyed it, it's okay. I'm really great at this. This is great. This is fun. I'm looking forward to this. But yeah, like, in terms of formal education, if you made me do it again, I don't think I could do it.
Okay. Is there a famous person you relate to?
Many, really. I think if I said a name, I'd say John Lennon. This is what I'm thinking today. Not the controversial parts of it, more the free thinking and the ambition. He was a very ambitious guy for, you know, a hippie. And that's kind of the balance I strike. There's him, for different reasons. I wouldn't say I'm like him, like Tupac or Kurt Cobain, like just free thinkers, musicians mostly, because again, I like music. I've always felt music calls to my emotional side more than anything else, which is vital. I think you have to answer, but I'm aware you have emotions. You have to answer to them. So yeah, like those three mainly, I think. But again, I see the flaws in all of them. So I try and do my own thing all the time.
Okay. How do you feel about authority?
You know, ironically, there's a place for it, but it's like the right authority for me. It's like, because I always think I'm right, so I'd say my authority, but again, would you want all that power? So yeah, I'm not a fan of authority, but I know it's needed, or else there would be absolute chaos, which isn't the answer either, you know. So authority is necessary. I don't agree with it. I often have problems with authority figures, but then I pull myself back before I do anything stupid, and yeah, we're fine. But often get into disagreements with authority figures. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of them.
If you could make anything real from any movie, TV show, what would you pick?
Oh, that's a good one. That's crazy. Anything. Like that's crazy. I don't know.
Anything, Pokemon.
Oh, okay, I get what you mean. From a TV show. Some sort of weird extraterrestrial animal, not just because it would be cool, but like an alien, you know, something like that. I like aliens. Obviously that would be terrible, probably ruin humanity, but that would, just for the sake of it being cool, or just I don't know. I'm gonna go with that. Yeah.
This will be a totally new question here. If you could say that, like your sin, I mean your let's say your sin, what would be, like, let's say some people would say their sin is lust. Some people would say their sin is, you know, pride or whatever. Which one would you say you identify with the most?
Nice. Maybe lust for, I wouldn't, well, power, my own power, my own autonomy. I want to rule my world. I don't care about yours, to be frank. It's mine, right? If I have my autonomy, my freedom, obviously I want everyone to be all right, of course. But I really focus on that, and that is my flaw, I guess. I'm quite selfish at times. But yeah, I guess I am. But yeah, lust.
That's pretty cool. Tom, you got anything you want to ask?
No, I don't know. What are qualities you look for in other people?
I think respect. If you don't respect, if people are disrespecting other people, I'm always one to chime in. Like, that's not right, you know. It's about giving people respect and respecting their opinion, respecting their choice to live how they want to live. So that's where the concept of like everyone living how they want to live then kind of works, because to inherently, if your belief affects somebody else's, I don't agree with that. So it's about living how you want to live, maybe living within your means. Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Cool. Trying to think here.
Well, outside of family and friends, what's most important to you?
Success. I want to succeed. I want to look back and say I did good in life, regardless. It's for me as well, not just like the definition of society's idea. Because it's not really going to matter when you're on your deathbed. Society's not going to care what you did or what you didn't do. Everyone's forgotten or whatever, you know. So yeah, I'd say success.
Okay. How do you know if something's true or false?
How do I know if something's true or false? Well, if someone's telling me something's true or false, so I would say, or if someone's telling me something, it's quite easy. You can tell, like you can tell if someone's lying to you. I like to see the good in people and like to think they're not, but I always look back and go, I could see they were lying, you know. So it's really just reading people, reading the room. It's even reading their friends. Like if they're saying something and their friend looks a bit off, you know, there's always ways to tell. Obviously everyone misses things, but yeah, I can always kind of tell just by looking at somebody.
Yeah. John, what are you thinking? How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think we're pretty clear what's going on. So
Yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna go through all the statements I got for you, man. All right.
Oh, cool.
So first thing you said, you like to come up with ideas. That's going to be any. I can argue from anything. That's any as well. Desire to push boundaries. That's pragmatic. Make sure I can help them. That's going to be FE. Vague idea and I just go with it. That's progression. Learn from my mistakes and adapt. That's what you said you feel is the best for you. That's progression. If you have a problem if the group don't want something but you do, you'll let them have it. That's FE. Helping people out that would lead to you being jailed. That's FE again. Being true to yourself. I think that's maybe you projecting your weakness with FI there. Asked about like what you think everybody should know. You said critical thinking. That's TIFE, more of a TI thing. You wanted your three wishes were like security to live and being in charge of a country. You didn't even give it a third one. You said people don't understand each other. That's more of a TIFE. That's more understanding. Learn rules, then you break them because you're not gonna go anywhere if you don't do that. That's pragmatic. People at the top want you to stay at the bottom. Talking about what people want, that's NE. Thinking and ambition, that's TI. Want to do my own thing. So I want to do my own thing and let other people do their own thing. That's more of a pragmatic approach. It's individualistic mindset.
Okay.
So with all that being said, that's a lot of TI, FE, SI, NE, and pragmatic. So that eliminates you down to two types. We have the NTPs. So it'll be INTP or ENTP, and your progression. So with that being said, I mean, obviously you're informative. That makes you an ENTP, man.
Oh wow, yeah, I thought so. I didn't know. Yeah, yeah, because I thought INTP is a bit. I'm very vocal with my opinions as opposed to maybe because I have a friend who's INTP. He's a little more. We're very similar. If we're talking, it goes for hours, just about endless things. But yeah, I am slightly different. I'm a bit more focused on other people. Yeah, I'd say that he's a little more. He's less focused on that, I would say. So yeah, that's why I thought. Okay, maybe I'm slightly different to him, you know. But yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
So they got you down for ENTP. And Thomas, you want to try to help me find his Enneagram? What do we know he's not?
All right. Well, we know he's not. He's not 1. He's not 2. He's not 4. I don't think he's 6. and I don't think he's 8 or 9. So
Okay. So what you're looking at right now is 3 and 5, right? You're between 3 and 5.
well,
Okay.
maybe 7 and maybe 7.
Okay, 7.
Yeah.
7. Yeah, I was thinking 3, 5, and 7. I think those would be the toughest part.
Oh well, yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay. Ooh.
He's, I mean, obviously very pragmatic, doesn't really he's aware of the rules, doesn't really care about the rules a whole lot. I don't think he's not trying to be perfect and present like this perfect image, although you do care about success, and maybe you care about achievements, but I don't think it's like the way that a 3 does. So I think we could probably take 3 off the board.
It's more, yeah, it's more for me to think
Yeah.
I'm successful. It's not like
Yeah,
it's not like me in a flashy suit like trying to show off. I don't care.
yeah.
It's about how I view
wonder
it, you know.
I wonder if it's like what you mean is like competency. Do you mean like competency, or is it like more than that, just that?
Competency, yeah, it's sort of getting through the day the way I want to get through it. I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't say like success, you know. It's literally my definition of it, I guess.
Gotcha. TI.
Yeah.
TI pragmatic, my definition.
So we'll eliminate 5 too. I think he's a 7.
Yeah, I think realistically probably makes the most sense.
He's talking about freedom a lot and like just like want to experience things. So I would say the hedonistic type stuff. But I would also say that he's in 8, 7W8.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Talking about ambition and lust, because his first one is hedonist, and then his second one would be lust or ambition. I like the term ambition for 8 is ambition.
Yeah, that sounds better. Yeah.
So you're hedonist and listen. So you're leaning into those two. So you're 7W8, man. ENTP.
Oh wow, okay. Awesome, yeah. Cool. Guess that's what I wanted anyway. Yeah.
I mean, I think I think most ENTPs are usually 7s, right?
I thought so, yeah, because like the thing is, I thought I was a 5 because I'm so in my head, but in some ways, right? But then I am just very vocal, and I like to have a good time fundamentally. So I guess that's where it differs.
Yeah, that's what the 7s that you like to have a good time. You like to pursue hedonism.
Above everything, yeah, it's have fun, you know. But we're here for that, in my opinion.
So yeah, that's
yeah.
And the thing about
fives, I was just gonna say 5s really don't care about having a good time. Like they're like the complete opposite. Okay. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah.
The thing is when a 7 feels secure, so that means like money and everything's right, they can transfer to a 5.
Oh, really? Okay. I heard they're sort of linked together in some way, aren't they? Yeah. So that makes sense.
So, like, let's say if Thomas is stressed out, he can take on 7 characteristics. When you feel secured in life, you can take on 5 characteristics. When I feel secured in life, I can take on a 2's characteristics. Like, I'll be a lot more giving.
Okay, yeah.
Like, in myself, I'm a lot more giving when, like, I've had a good day or something, or I'm, like, in a good mood. Like, I'll donate and I'll give money. But if I'm in it most of the time, I ain't giving shit. Fuck. But I'm in a
yeah. Like, me, it's like if I see somebody needs something or needs some energy, I'm gonna give them it, right? Even if I feel terrible. It's really weird. I can be feeling horrible, and I'll just like someone else needs a little something, and I'll give them it. I don't know. I guess that's how I look. It makes me feel better when I do that.
It's called FP child. That's what you have. ENTP FP child. So they just deep down they have a need to just want to help people. They just want to help people. It's almost like they're a slave to it. And that's why they can get along.
Yeah. It really is. It really is.
Yeah. You got any questions for us?
What would you say? So I'm a 7. So what would you say? How could I? Is there any things I could do to? I want to develop discipline, really. I thought it was develop. Yeah, like develop, because I know it's our. Now I am an ENTP. I know it's our sort of worst thing to be, and that is what stresses me out, which we kind of said at the beginning. It's just trying to develop discipline. So Would you say that's the main thing for a 7 to develop in the NCP 7?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think once you get once they get their discipline in order, I think the best thing is just to take just the easiest way I could see it for you is just making sure you stick to the gym. And I think everything
Yeah, okay.
like because like if you're disciplined about the gym, then you'll be able to take that into other aspects of your life. You're like, well, man, I've been able to go to the gym for 5 fucking years. I could be disciplined about this shit. Or I've been able, like it turns wrong, but if you never find something that's easy to be disciplined about, then it's hard to kind of like figure out like how to do it. So I would stay with the gym, man. No matter what, I believe, especially for a guy, 2023, I think that's the biggest payoff. It's just being regular in the gym. But
For sure, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I found when I was in the gym consistently, everything else fell into place. I had an injury, it was throws you off. But yeah, definitely I'm getting back into the gym, and I think that will help a lot. Gives me a sense of purpose.
Yeah. So for myself, like if I injure, like I was injured, like I've been lifting for 14 years now. So like some days I go in there, my shoulders hurting or something. Man, I just
Yeah.
like based off like what joint's not hurting. Like if I feel like my biceps are getting like a little grabby or something, man, I'll take a week, add an extra leg day. You know, you can never.
Yeah.
So if you hurt something, then just pick up on other muscle groups or just try to work around it like in a different way. Like if you say, "Oh, my lower back is hurting, I can't do squats," then you can still do lunges. Like you can still do you don't have to do weighted lunges, but you can still do
For
lunges,
sure, yeah.
leg extensions. You can still do leg curls. So take what you can off the board. Like people like they get a defeatist mindset, but it's like, okay, my lower back's hurt. Fuck that. I'll just do leg extensions, leg curls till I drop dead. Like figure out
Yeah.
what motivated. Because in the long term it pays off. Yeah.
Oh, for sure, yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah. Anything else, man?
No, I think that's it. That's it.
Well, we have our group call every first of the month where we talk about the goals that we accomplish. Like everybody gets to go through and talk about the goals they accomplished and the goals they're setting for the next month. And we try to hold each other accountable and make sure we accomplish those goals. And we're just gonna see exactly where everybody's at in the whole year. We do them every month. So it'd be awesome if you join, man.
Oh, 100%. I'm down for that. That'll be fun.
All right, brother. Take it easy, man. You got anything you
Yes, all right. Oh, sorry.
Thomas, you got anything you want to say?
Oh, Thomas.
Oh no, man! It was fun chatting with you. It's I think I've seen you posting in the group, so that's good.
I've just got into it. Yeah, like 3 weeks ago.
Good. Yeah, so yeah, I'm sure you have a lot to add. So yeah, thanks for joining, and yeah, thanks for for joining us on the typing session.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for the opportunity. It's been great.
Have a good one, man.
Good evening, man.
Yes, all right, perfect. Take care, guys. See you later.